Hey, what's up? Dusk here. So I've got a few tips to help you out with the Outlast trials. First thing is keep in mind it's a horror game, which means sometimes there's going to be stealth, but sometimes there's going to just be like running from the bad guys, so you don't have to adhere to both completely, and there's some wiggle room for playstyle. Another thing is to just get into good habits, like always slowly open doors as just a habit. If you do that, you'll almost never get caught by these door traps, and then you can disarm them and get free batteries, which is really helpful. When it comes to stealth, being in the dark will help a lot, but also being aware of your sound. When you start to make sound, you're going to see these little white parentheses appear around the center dot. If an enemy can hear your sound, those parentheses will be red instead of white. Here you can see that we definitely alerted the enemies, but we were in very dark areas, so they had a hard time tracking us, and we were able just to run past them, vault over a few tables, and that was that. So when it comes to these loot containers right here, you know, some of them are trapped, some of them aren't. If you look inside, you can actually see the trap if they are trapped, but I find it's a good habit to just back off anyway in case you don't notice it. If you do that, you'll never get hit by these gas traps. Speaking of traps, you can destroy these electric floor grid traps if you throw something and hit the little device in the center. The breaker box puzzle is pretty easy, but it's kind of hard to explain. Basically, one of the switches is going to flip a second switch with it. If the breaker box shorts out, that means you already flipped the other switch. So when it does short out, just start off where you left off, and you should solve this thing in 1 to 2 tries 99% of the time. As far as riggings go, I definitely recommend the blind rig for solo play. It's probably the strongest solo device you have, but the stun rig is also not a bad choice, especially once you get it upgraded. You can basically just clear every trap in the game for free with no cooldown, which is really powerful. Also, while the blind rigging is really handy and really powerful, there are plenty of ways to deal with enemies that don't require any rigging at all. One of the easiest ones is to make noise, lead an enemy away, and then lock him in a room, and then go back to your objective. I have to deal with this big guy here, so we kite him away, we make some noise, pull him outside, and then just lock him behind a door and go back to our objective.
Come back where I can touch you.
I have a ton of tips for this game, but I don't want to overload this video, so I'm going to leave you with this final tip. These little hand carts here, you can sprint while you push it, and if you combine that with an adrenaline shot, you can run this chair really quickly, all down all sorts of really long hallways, and then have stamina to spare in case you run into an enemy, making it super easy to just run away. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the tips really helpful. If you did, toss a like at the video. If you want to support my content even more, you can go down to the description below. I've got a link to a Patreon account where you can sub there if you want. Either way, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.